Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Random Shit, Random Guy. As always, I am your host, Phil. It's going to be a fun show today. We've got some people I haven't seen in a while on the mic. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
What's going on out there, radio land, internet podcast land? This is the man with the plan, Ryan Dookie. Let's do some Dusty Road stuff. Too sweet to be sour, the man of the hour, the man with the power. What is it? If you don't like that mess, you're at the wrong address. And here's my good buddy right here. I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, this is Bryon Gray.
Go ahead and turn the mic towards you.
I'm not going to be all fancy like as Ryan Dookie, but this is Bryon Gray. That's all you really need to know. So,
yeah. So, Bryon, we've known each other since we were little kids.
Long time, man. I remember we used to, everything in Barberville, we'd see each other. Mostly, though, I remember we would go over to Jeff Frost's house and watch pay-per-views.
Yeah, man. And we'd hang out with Jeff, and I remember, from hanging out with, Jessica Kirshner and shit, where parents and shit were friends, I guess, and...
Yeah, okay, I was like, Jessica, who's that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah, because we all it seemed like every person, was connected. In this town, you're connected to somebody.
Yeah, it's 7 degrees of somebody in Barberville, absolutely.
It's fucked up. If you probably looked into it, everybody's related here too, so it's a shitty place. But, it's home, so.
It's a nice place to live, but I wouldn't want to visit, right?
Hell no, dude. Once I get out of here, I told everybody, I was like, just bring me back and spread my ashes.
Right.
I don't want to live here. I don't want to.
Well, I got away to Corbin. It's not too much farther, but, it feels its need for me. I'll say
yeah.
that.
See, last summer I worked in Lexington, full time. I was working with the Lexington Legends, and I was like, come on, dude. I don't want to go home. And, season ended, and I'm back here. So.
All she wrote. I couldn't live in Lexington, though, man.
Well,
I hate the traffic up there. It's ridiculous.
It doesn't bother me. See, that's kind of where I learned how to drive.
You probably have to up there.
Yeah. See,
all over again.
Well, when I was 16, I was taking mom back and forth to the doctors and shit. And, I'm a new driver on the interstate. And it was you learn how to fend for yourself or you're fucked.
yeah.
So, you're a professional. Well, what do you call yourself? Professional wrestler or indie wrestler?
Oh God. Man, I got some asked that the other day. I guess it looks at the definition of what you want to call it. I consider myself an indie wrestler because, it's one and the same. It's just terminology and what you want to pretend you are. Professional wrestler, indie wrestler, it's the same gimmick. The only I don't have a job at the big feds, so I'm an indie wrestler.
Yeah.
I put it that way. You can still say pro wrestler. I think that's fine.
You get paid, so that's pro wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. I get paid.
Anything you get paid at, you're not an amateur, you're a pro.
Right. I make sure I get paid. Let me just say that to all the promoters listening out there. To say that professional term, I think that it doesn't always apply to everybody who's an indie wrestler. So I think that you got a good mix of guys that don't need to be in the business, guys that are goofs, guys that want it but don't have the know-how, and then you've got guys that have been there and done it and know the stuff and try to help, and then other guys who've been there and done it who don't want to help. So it all depends on how many times you've been in the back and met the people, and you get an idea of what professionalism versus just being an indie guy is. I think that kind of clears it up.
Do you wrestle as well, Bryon?
Yeah, well, I wrestled quite a bit back, let's see, it's been going on about 8 years now. I took this past year off, and people have been trying to get me back into it. And I'm thinking about rejoining, but I don't know really.
It's got to be a lot of wear and tear. I don't know. I've not watched wrestling in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know you have to be in shape to be able to do that shit.
Well, I'll say you don't know about in shape.
Well, you have to be able to you have to be able to.
Oh yeah, let me say this. You should be in better shape. I don't know how. I guess I was just gifted with an ability to be able to move with a belly. But anybody out there that's listening knows who I am, knows what I'm talking about. And if you don't, YouTube Ryan Dookie, you can see something on there. But you've got to be in shape. And then it's another thing too. It's more about not just being in shape, but being conditioned. Because you can look like $1 million and just totally suck in the ring.
Yeah, that's true. You got to last the whole time that you're given.
Sure, they'll give you 15 minutes, and promoters paying you good money. They want 15 minutes, absolutely. And that's something you got to go in and do. Now, back in 2009, I was working 3 to 4 nights a week, every Wednesday in Sevierville, Tennessee. and then Friday usually in Kingsport, and then a Saturday show somewhere in Kentucky, and then maybe a Sunday show somewhere in Kentucky.
Wow.
And now that's nothing like my buddy's schedule. A friend of mine, he was working 5 nights, 6 nights a week.
Goes all the way to Arkansas.
Yeah, now he's cut it down. He gets paid real good money to work 2 places and 2 or 3 places, so he just does that. But yeah, I mean, there's guys all over, and anybody out there that's indie workers listening, they know what I'm talking about. It's a case of getting your name out there and trying to get money for it. And that's the last part's the hard part to get, because let's say I charge. This is completely not true, but let's just say I charge $100, right, to show up.
Right.
If I charged $100 and a promoter's like, shoot, that's too much money, I can get 10 guys paying them $10 for one of you, you know?
Right.
And you're like, yeah, but you're going to get $10 worth of quality work as opposed to what you're going to pay me. That's what promoters around in this area don't understand is, yeah, you can get a lot of guys for cheap, but you're also going to get cheap wrestling. Your fans aren't going to appreciate it. You're paying customers who are coming to see it. You're going to hate it, and they're not going to come back.
Right. I mean, it's like anything. If you don't put out a good product, nobody's going to want it.
Nobody's going to want it. Absolutely.
How long have you been in the game now?
God. I've been wrestling. July 6th or 7th is going to be my 11th year anniversary.
Damn.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I've been around it since I was 15.
Right.
But now I started training-ish when I was about 15. However, state of Kentucky pulled my license because you have to be at least 18 to do it.
Ooh.
So I went to Tennessee and worked for quite a while. And so I've been in it since I was 15, but technically I don't really count that until until a year later when I was turning 17. I was 15 going on 16 when I started. And then when I officially got trained and started working, I was like 16 going on 17. So I've been doing it. I count that, and I'll be doing it 11 years July.
That's cool. Have you been, what's the biggest organization you've wrestled with?
Well, it's a little small promotion called Ring of Honor. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Little shit that comes on Fox before the MLB games.
But let me clarify, I didn't do anything major. I just did a couple dark matches. Me and my buddy got asked to come back to do some stuff, and it's always a good idea to, show up and say, hey, and
I mean, you did make it on a Ring of Honor DVD.
I'm on DVD. Which one is it? I pulled out Jay Briscoe. They cut me out too, man. Oh God, I was all over that thing before they edited. It's like I was hovering and I was like, please don't hit him. Stay back. Oh, Joey Mercury, don't hit him. And then you don't see shit. Like you see me run out with my mohawk to help, and then you see me kind of pull him off to the side. That's it. Fucking editing.
You made the tape. That's all that matters.
That's right. But Ring of Honor is probably the biggest place I've worked for, and then it was just kind of a handshake, how you doing kind of deal.
Aren't they a developmental place?
No.
Oh, I thought they were.
I think it would be. It was gonna. They were looking at it. I think at one point maybe, but I mean we'll never know officially. It's all behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
Cornette was with them.
Yeah, Jim Cornette was with them. That's the best thing they had going, and they got rid of him. Or I guess he kind of left. So
because of the Nigel thing.
Isn't he still promoting? I know he's doing the convention circuit.
He was at Lexington Comic Con. I met him there and talked to him. God, he probably hates me, but I talked to him for quite a while. Like Brian actually was his bodyguard at the Dead Winter Con.
Yeah, Jim Cornette is my new best friend, by the way, just so everyone knows that.
If you're listening, Jim.
Yeah, he bought me lunch. Who can say that? Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was coming to Dead Winter,
but at the Comic Con in Lexington, he said that people are just running stupid shit up there, and that rings true. I can completely understand what he's talking about. Just people didn't know what they were doing. They were just trying to do some stuff to save money, and it cost them fans. And he said, I've been away from it for a while. I've lost 50 pounds. My stress level's down. He goes, I'm just going to keep doing these cons.
Yeah, he's been doing it forever.
Ever, yeah.
And didn't he take over for his dad or family member?
No. As far as I know, as far as that goes,
because he helped start WCW, right?
No, not really.
Or no, didn't he take over it before?
He did Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But now, with Cornette, he just started going to the matches and was selling, I think he took pictures of the guys is what it was. And he and his mom from Louisville, and he and his mom would set up a booth or, table, and they would buy the pictures, and some of the wrestlers started coming up and asking him for him so they can make money elsewhere.
And he went down to Memphis.
Yeah, and he went down into Memphis. You're absolutely right. And then that's where Jerry Jarrett kind of gave him the idea of being this playboy guy, and he's like, well, everybody knows my mom, so they know I can't be really a playboy, but
right.
We'll take that part out and I'll do the rest of it, and that's kind of how he got his start. But Jim Cornette's a man.
Yeah, I've watched the I forgot what it's one of the DVDs that WWE put out. I want to say it's the one where they're talking about the history from WCW to WWE.
Oh yeah, rise and fall of WCW.
Yeah. And his interviews in that are great.
Oh yeah, he was just shooting all over WCW for the crap they put out. Absolutely.
Yeah, because like he was like, this is awful.
He talked about doing or putting out Smoky Mountain DVDs,
right?
Because he owns all that, you know. So he talked about doing that, like a documentary on those. God, I wished he would.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can remember when Smoky Mountain, like, I'm almost positive it was Smoky Mountain. I could be wrong. Come to Knox Central when we were little kids.
Yeah, that's Smoky Mountain.
Yeah. And I can remember getting to meet the wrestlers and shit. And that was the coolest thing as a little kid.
Oh, did you not tell me nothing? I met Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. And I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But when the Heavenly Bodies came out, I changed, man. I loved Tom Pritchard, Gigolo, Jimmy Del Rey with Jim Cornette. Those were my guys.
Yeah.
Didn't care how many times they beat up Ricky Morton. That was awesome.
What are some of the big names that you've got to be in the ring with?
Actually, I've been kind of fortunate to be in the ring with a lot of guys. I wrestled Nigel McGuinness. He was a Ring of Honor guy. He was in TNA there for a little bit. He's got a documentary out right now. It's actually really good on not giving up your dreams and continuing, even though what happened to him.
See, I'm a big documentary guy. Like, I don't give a shit what it is. I'll watch it.
Well, then you need to, I know you like wrestling a little bit, you need to watch Last of McGuinness.
Yeah.
It's great. At him, let's see, I've wrestled Austin Aries. He's in TNA right now.
Samoa Joe.
I wrestled Samoa Joe back a couple years ago.
I remember that
London.
name.
Yeah, that was fun. Who else? I got to wrestle, Henry Godwin. Do you remember him?
Name sounds familiar.
From the Godwins from WWF.
Oh yeah.
It was we had a slot match and like he had the gimmick out set, you know, and he was awesome. He was this cool cat. He didn't know if I knew what I was talking about. Then we got out in the ring and he felt me out and after that we were great. Everything was cool. Like he was worried I didn't know what he was going to do and all this.
We showed in the locker room with Bobby Eaton and Ricky Morton.
Oh yeah, I've been in the locker room with Bobby Eaton and Ricky Morton many times. I got to wrestle Ricky Morton once and it was like a 20-man tag match, but you know, he punched me and I sold it like $1 million, so.
I was growing a big afro out at the time and Bobby Eaton looks at me and says, "I love your hair, brother." And Bobby Eaton has this big long blonde mullet and I was like, "No, I love your fucking hair, Bobby Eaton."
Yeah.
I know there's some more. Dr. Tom Pritchard, absolutely. Man, I know there's more. I just can't think.
Yeah.
Who are you wrestling with now?
It's a company out of Corbin. They're running London, Corbin area. It's called Pro Wrestling Freedom, and they've actually had, let's see, I think 8, 9, 10 shows, something like that. So they've been running since last October, so a show a month. But man, they've got some great talent that comes in there. I'm the lackey in that group. Like usually I show up and I'm like, everybody kind of knows me. Everybody knows me on this one. Let me correct myself. But, man, there's such great talent there. Sean Harddrive, God, now I'm going to start naming people and forget people. So everybody on the, roster, go check them out. Kyle Matthews, who's not going to listen to this, who I'm going to say hey to anyway. Is great. One of the best wrestlers out going right now.
He looks like a little Spartan.
Yeah, he looks like a Gerard Butler from 300, just like him, except like smaller.
Didn't I see it? You were holding a belt recently?
Oh yeah, I worked out for a promotion called UCW out in Hartford, Kentucky. First match back there in probably 4 years, and I won the heavyweight title out there, so that was cool.
So how does that work in indie wrestling? Like, do they just, if you don't come back, do they give it to somebody else?
Oh man, all a belt is commitment. You don't get any more money, anything like that. It's just a place to
but like the fans and shit, like that.
Oh, forget and stuff. Man, they don't. I tell you the greatest thing for indie promotions that's helped out is like the inventions of Facebook. And
Twitter and all that right there.
because-
I mean, like even with podcasting, I mean, the media has changed so much that without social media, nobody would know how to do anything.
No, and then like back in the day, like you'd have people would set up matches, even in Barberville, I remember.
Yeah, they used to do them at the Armory.
Yeah, and they'd be like, all right, next month we're going to be here and have us a chain match. And I'm like, hell yeah, right? So you show up next month and they forget all about the chain match. And you're like, well, hell, what happened to the chain match? So yeah, I think social media keeps the fans informed and the fans keep reminding the promoters like, hey, this is supposed to happen. Hey, I want this to happen.
What's your next event?
July 6th. I believe is it. It's the first Saturday in July there.
Okay.
It's going to be at the Corbin Civic Center. It's a lethal lottery is what they're calling it. And basically, this is going to be an interesting concept. What they're going to do is everybody gets a paid ticket, right? Okay. Everybody that pays that gets in, you're going to get a raffle ticket in return. They're going to throw that into a hat or a large bowl of some sort. And then they're going to have another set of tickets with wrestlers' names on it. And they're going to have a format of like the first match is going to be a tag match, second match, so on and so forth. The only official match signed is Kyle Matthews versus, Jordan Cage, Picture Perfect Jordan Cage. And that's going to be for the heavyweight title. But now, all the other matches, fans they're going to draw a ticket out.
That sounds pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
And that'll be the more you draw the fans in, especially in something smaller like that, then.
Well, what's going to be real fun is, they're going to draw the ticket out, and that person gets to come up and draw a wrestler name out of the hat. So it's going to be just a matter of 3 seconds, because apparently what they're going to do is they're going to draw the ticket, guy comes up, picks the ticket, wrestler name out of the hat, they call that wrestler's name, that music plays, they come to the ring and wait to hear the wrestling. So they have no time to prep whatsoever. It's just going to
just sounds, it could be chaos, it could be awesome.
Oh, well, what's going to be, it's going to show people who can work and who can't, if I can just go be a little candid on it, because not necessarily in this locker room, but I've been in so many locker rooms, dude, where it's like, these guys will talk for 30 minutes or 40 minutes about their match and how this is going to go and this and that. And you have these old guys who just go, well, see you out there. And, and 9 times out of 10, the old guys have a really good match. The other guys who've called 40 things, and, they'll blow them. A lot of times they'll mess stuff up. And not saying that happens all the time. There are great guys out there that go out and it's entertaining to watch. But I have seen some clusterfucks quite a few times.
We actually have a game.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, if you're a wrestling fan, you need to do this.
Okay.
Go to YouTube.com, right? Type it. Brian and I came up with this. Type in 3 random letters followed by wrestling.
Okay.
Just whatever you want. And it will it'll either be the worst night of your life or the best, depending on how you like crappy wrestling.
Awesome.
Because every promotion, well, I shouldn't say promotion, every person in the world that wants the backyard has got a tape up on YouTube now.
Oh yeah, those backyard guys are fucking hilarious because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
No clue.
They want to be an all-star.
Yeah.
What's so funny to me is the fact that they're like, oh yeah, we've trained with such and such. Mm-hmm. And they're fucking hitting each other with these stupid ass shit that
and a lot of times what it is, one guy has went to a place and got trained for a little bit, and then he's come back and showed all his buddies. But I tell you what, we saw a ring, man, set up at one of these backyard places.
Yeah.
It's one of the nicest rings I've ever seen. I mean, it's beautiful. It's like a $6,000 ring.
Holy shit. I remember watching a documentary recently on backyard wrestling. I couldn't make it through it because it was a bunch of rednecks that were hitting each other over the head with fluorescent light bulbs.
Yeah, it's stupid shit.
And I'm like, that's not wrestling. That's just, and there's like, all it is his mom with a camcorder.
Sure.
And like his girlfriend is the audience screaming. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, that's not.
No, we see some shit from Germany or Austria or somewhere, and it was like 2 kids, and they fought each other for like 20 minutes. Yeah. But like they just kept hitting each other with crap, and there were like 30 people gathered in the backyard watching it. It was great.
Risers, everything in the world, people just sitting there.
That's pretty cool though.
It was fun.
In Europe, you ain't got a lot of stuff to do.
Hell no.
But the best part about that game is you can just watch anything you want to and just laugh. But if you try to do commentary to it, and try to put it over like it's the greatest thing ever, because that's even more fun.
That's where you'll have your fun.
If you make fun of it while watching, it's not nearly as fun as trying to make it look awesome.
What do you think of like the way the direction? Like I've watched a little bit of WWE lately. I watched WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Like I watch WrestleMania and not know what the fuck's going on.
Sure,
because it's always a good show.
Yep.
But what do you think of the current state of the way things are going? I think it's just so campy now.
I hate that Vince has monopolized the business completely. I will say that right now. I hate how Vince is basically taking over everything because he's completely got rid of all the different styles of wrestling you see.
Right.
Pretty much because now it's mostly that New York style of big guys getting over and stuff. But yeah, he's got Daniel Bryan. He puts Daniel Bryan over in Ziggler and things like that.
Daniel Bryan got so big and then it was like...
Exactly, because they have a certain light for him.
See, I know about this stuff because I watch baseball.
Right.
And one of my favorite players plays for the not the Astros, the Athletics. I can't think of his name right now.
But he's my favorite player.
Well, he's one of my favorite players because of the way he plays.
Sure.
Not like he used to play for the Red Sox.
Okay.
And that's where I picked him up. Sure. And then once players leave the Red Sox, I got 25 guys to worry about. Outside of that, it's like, I don't care anymore. But, he's a huge wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. And, he come out to his walkout music was that, same song as, of Daniel Bryan.
Oh, wow.
And like he would post like all that yes shit. And like if you saw him in the like underneath his uniform, he always wears a wrestling t-shirt.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's fun.
It's really cool because it's like he knows so much about this shit. Like him and Dustin Pedroia, which is the second baseman for the Red Sox, they both would watch wrestling together all the time. And they had Ric Flair come and give him a belt.
Shit.
And he gave them each a belt and gave Dustin Pedroia, because Dustin Pedroia is a huge Ric Flair fan, because he's just like 2 years older than that, 2 or 3 years older than us. So you know, that's who we were raised with was Ric Flair and all that. And he gave him one of his robes. And he wears it. It hung above his locker the whole season. He would wear it around the locker room.
I'd never change my clothes. I just wear that thing everywhere.
Yeah, I was laughing so hard though, because like he's a short dude, man.
Yeah.
He's like one of the smaller guys in baseball, and like he's walking around with this fucking thing dragging. I was like, this is hilarious, but it was so funny because it was like those guys acted like little kids, and they acted the way the little kids act towards them.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that aspect of wrestling, I just thought was always cool.
Yeah.
Because like the interaction with the fans.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. I
Rotate that mic a little bit.
I get a lot of that. Like I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. And you can ask Brian, but the people in Corbin really like me, like a lot.
Jesus.
Is it because they know you, or is it?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's like
I know my friend John is like.
Oh, John is great, by the way. But
John,
I didn't know John before the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, see, I remember me and him had classes together.
Right.
And like he was always the huge UK basketball fan. And all of a sudden one day he's like, I'm back into wrestling.
Right.
Comes in, like he knows his shit.
Yeah. I know from what I've seen on Twitter and everything.
It's funny though, because it's like, no one knew anything that he would ever have known anything about wrestling.
Just all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's like, I always liked it, but I got out of it.
Yeah. And
that seems to be the trend right now. Like,
well, that's the case, man. I mean, I think it hits to a certain age and you get older.
Well, see, my thing is like, I like it, but I'm a UFC fan.
Yeah.
And I like seeing them beat the shit out of each other and know that, you know, there's serious injuries in wrestling too.
Sure.
But these motherfuckers are like leaving with like, they got the cauliflower ear like every day.
Yeah. I can watch UFC. I don't dislike UFC, but I don't know. I can watch it and be like, oh, that's really cool.
See, I can't watch it like every month. Like
I cannot. I mean,
it depends on who the fight card is.
Sure.
I mean, that pulls me in.
And I can play me some UFC Undisputed. Hell yeah.
I used to love that game. I'm not a big gamer because I suck at it.
Well, I do too, so don't feel bad.
I'm like so bad. Like my friends are just like,
turn it off.
Yeah.
We have all our wars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we play UFC Undisputed. Was it 2008?
2009.
2009.
Yeah, he uses Frank Mir. I use Brock Lesnar.
That was the first year it came out, right?
Yeah.
My friends hated me on that game because it's one of those games you really don't have to know what you're doing. You just have to push buttons.
Yeah. If you just want to knock people out, you just push buttons.
Yeah, and I would always get Chuck Liddell and just start fucking hitting buttons like crazy. And like these people, they would go like 12 guys straight, in a row, and I'd just walk up and beat them. And they're like, you don't even know video games. You don't even lock them. I'm like, it doesn't take talent to hit a button.
Yep. Pow, 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 pow.
To know the combination.
I wouldn't even know the combinations. I would just start fucking hitting buttons. I knew how to punch, and that was it.
Whenever they swing at you.
Yeah.
Move back.
Yeah, like I would run like a little puss, and then like I'd just get in there and just start slamming arms.
Flailing arms.
And then like I'd just run back again.
Yeah.
Pow.
And I learned how to do his big kick that he always does in the ring, and people would never, like, I would come from swinging, I'd never kick, and then all of a sudden I'd kick and knock him out and it'd be over.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's all over.
Yeah. Which I'm big on the UFC right now because they've introduced the women into it.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
That was the best fucking thing Dana White has done recently.
Right.
The reason being is because of their champ. Like, as you can see right here, my fucking background is, Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Have you ever seen her fight?
I've heard the name.
This bitch breaks arms like it's nothing. She's not lost yet.
Wow.
She's an Olympian actually. She's the only person in the UFC that is trained in judo.
Oh wow. See, that's what kills me about UFC. I'm gonna go on a UFC rant. People are gonna
go right ahead.
I like to watch it. I think it's really cool. But to call it mixed martial arts is a bunch of crap. And I'll tell you why. Because here's what they do. I have never seen some strange submission that you've never heard of from some mixed martial arts you've never heard of win a fight. You win a fight with a knockout, a rear naked choke, a guillotine, an arm bar, a leg bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Chick's she's an armbar specialist.
Right.
She's been doing this shit like since she was, I think she started when she was 4.
Right. That's cool.
She's the youngest American to hold a medal in the Olympics for judo. Her mom was a judo specialist, and the reason she got in, like in judo, it's basically, hold them down, pin them kind of.
Right.
Well, you can also do arm bars and shit. Well, her mom taught her the arm bar because her mom says Americans get ripped off in judo so much because it's not an American sport.
Right.
And,
it's more Russian, isn't
it?
Yeah.
Russian. She said there's a lot from Japan.
Yeah.
And, they taught her this arm bar. And she has her and Frank Mir have the dirtiest arm bars I've ever seen in my life. But the way she does her arm bar, like she can catch you in the air, throw you on the ground, and about break your arm before she hits the ground with it. She's not had, I think the longest match she's had is 2 minutes long.
Golly.
Yeah.
See, I don't take anything away from those cats. I mean, they train hard. They fight hard.
She's who got me back into this shit.
Right.
Cause I was watching these videos and I was like, I'd saw her before because of Strike Force. I think she was on Strike Force.
Yeah.
And, Dana's like, well, this is who's going to fight for the UFC Women's Championship. Like, she come in, went straight for the championship. And I was like, this is crazy, man.
Well, Fedor, do you know Fedor?
Yeah.
He got me into it too, cause like his big streak that he was on and all the stuff that he was just
Yeah, and
then he gets beat by the fucking nobody twice.
Like John Jones, I think he's the welterweight champion.
He's exciting to watch.
Hell yeah, man. Did you see his last fight though?
I didn't. I heard about it though.
Man, he beat the fuck out of Gail Sutton, and he almost lost.
Who did George St. Pierre recently fight? About a month or 2 ago. Because I watched that one.
I know who you're talking about.
I believe he was a Latin feller.
George St. Pierre fights Injustice. That's who he fights.
Yeah.
George St. Pierre is fucking awesome.
He's in the new.
Oh yeah, I'm all. He's
in Captain America.
He's the kickboxer. I can't remember.
I think it's hilarious though because I'm like, don't let him speak. Don't let him speak. Because his English is awful.
Well, the guy he's playing is French.
Right.
So I mean,
it doesn't matter. Yeah. But I was like, because I didn't know who. Like all I saw on a heading, and I was like George St. Pierre, and I in Captain America, and I was like, what? It's like, who the fuck can he play?
And apparently, it's the Canadian kickboxer.
I was like, his English is so goddamn bad that it's not bad. Like he has really good English, but his French is so strong that it just kind of. It cancels it out. He's been on the Joe Rogan podcast a lot lately because where Joe Rogan's big on that shit. That like he gets all these big names in there, and I had to like listen like with a keen ear because I was like, what is he saying? Like I thought they should have put it on because they put it on YouTube, and I was like, subtitle that shit, man. Yeah, for real. But shit, we've been going. Let's get into some topics.
Yeah. Instead of this wrestling shit.
Random stuff.
No. Well, hell, the show's called Random Shit, Random Guy.
Random shit, random guy.
So, we're from Kentucky, so this kind of hits home. I'll set the story up here and then we'll talk about it. Recently, a 26-year-old man was revealed. This is an article from HuffPost. It's called FBI Raid on, I can't say the guy's name, so I'm just going to go by his online tag. It's KY Anonymous. He's big in the anonymous movement. He's even got the Guy Fawkes mask or however the hell you say it, and he's been like in the videos and shit. But he was in connection with the Steubenville, whatever it's named in this high school. Anyways, he's a 26-year-old guy. He was revealed at his home for being subject of a raid by the FBI. Last month's connection to the anonymous hack, which helped publicize the a lot of the evidence that with the this Steubenville rape case. See, what he did is he went in and hacked a little bit about the case. They these kids fucking posted pictures of this shit on their school website. Like they had a school like fan site, and he hacked. Well, he says he didn't hack the site. He had somebody else hack the site, and he went in and posted one of those anonymous videos. And it's him in the mask telling them, apologize by January 1st or I'm leaking everything. And he fucking kept his word. But evidently the FBI's went in, they've raided everything. He said This is a quote from him. They seized my laptop, my girlfriend's laptop, flash drives, music CDs? What the hell take a music CD? Anyways, external hard drive, 2 cell phones, my brother's Xbox for some reason. Like he was more pissed about him taking his brother's Xbox than anything.
I'd have been irate if the FBI takes my Xbox. There'd be a fight.
But, like they take all this shit, and what's screwed up about this case is these kids are teenagers and they got arrested they got rape and distribution of child pornography, which
because the chick was underage.
Yeah. But they were underage too. But still, the girl was 16, they were 17.
Right.
But they sexually assaulted her, and they've it said they'll serve time in the state juvenile detention center, which means in a year they're probably going to be out.
They'll be out. So the FBI raided his house. Why?
Because to find all the
to find any evidence that he hacked into the school's website.
Yeah, like it was
that's a ploy if I ever heard one.
That's what I think a lot of some of this, like it doesn't talk about this, but I am not all that familiar with the case. I've followed it a little bit, but I think what it was is he got material that was sealed. Cause anonymous people's big on that.
Sure.
This is a case though that I don't know that I would be sharing the sealed information on. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he distributed any of the pictures. Because if he distributed any of the pictures,
he'd get charged with child porn, right?
Right, and he should.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
But this high school's like throwing a fit, like because somebody broke into their shit. And I'm sorry, it's probably not that hard. Because the school's fucking website is called something Big Red, like.
Woo!
But it's a fan site for their football team. But he hacks into it. And the thing that pisses me off is the fucking fact that it says let me see here if they've got his charges. It says the Huffington Post received an email from FBI saying they received a target letter indicating that he was, indicating him for a federal offense. They don't say the federal offense as part of a grand jury trial. He's hired a lawyer, of course. This lawyer actually works for Anonymous. So he's got a good one. They said if convicted for they just say federal computer crimes. I don't know what that, why?
Cause it's a school and it's a government. Would that be state though?
Public school.
Public school is listed under federal crimes though.
So that's it.
But, it said he could face up to 10 years.
I guess the state gets money from the federal government for
that. Here's how long the boys are going to serve. The fucking rapists, the people who beat the shit out of this girl and did horrible things. One is getting 1 year. The other's getting 2. 10 years for hacking into shit. These guys have ruined a girl's life. Yeah. And they're getting slapped on the fucking wrist.
Yeah.
That right there pisses me off so bad.
Yeah. That's justice for you.
There's no fucking justice in that. I mean, why are we worrying about hackers anyways?
Yeah.
What does our government have to, a lot of the shit they're showing is shit that no one cares about in the first place. They're hacking into documents that we need to be seeing.
Yeah, exactly. We pay our taxes, so we should be, basically, the government, we should be privy to the things the government spends our money on, so.
Absolutely.
A lot of these are just files that are actually public documents. They're just not sharing them.
Yeah, exactly.
And, they're just making it easier to find on a lot of things. This anonymous group to me has been cool.
Yeah, I enjoy the anonymous.
Did you see when, it was, I want to say it was right after the, shooting in, Connecticut.
Yeah.
The anonymous group hacked the Westboro Baptist Church people.
I saw that, yeah.
They took over everything. Like every member of that family, they hacked their account.
They released their social security numbers and everything on there. Yeah.
Which that was a little...
You know what, man? Fuck them people at Westboro.
Yeah. I agree. Fuck them, but giving out their shit, that's...
that's probably a little much, but man, just...
Oh yeah, I hate those motherfuckers. Those people.
You know about the House of Tolerance or the Tolerance House?
You talking about the gay house that's right across the street from?
Yeah,
I love that.
Wow, that's awesome. I've never heard of that before.
It's painted rainbow. Dude.
Yeah, they bought this house right across the street from. I'm calling it a compound because I know goddamn church.
Yeah.
But they painted a gay flag on it.
Yeah.
And they have to see this every day when they leave and shit.
That's nice.
Like
Every day they pull into church. They steal my
I enjoy
house.
that.
Fred Phelps is the fucking stupidest son of a bitch I ever heard of in my life. Have you ever heard him speak?
Yeah, but man, I tell you what's crazy about that guy is he's so convicted in what he believes in. And
That's scary.
And what's scary about it is that can draw people to somebody, being confident and being just passionate about what you believe in, and you can get people to turn around for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, there's people outside of that group now that aren't family members.
Sure.
And evidently there's some of the crazier ones, man. Cause there's, have you ever seen there's a
documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And these little kids are saying hate crime shit that's so awful.
It's terrible.
I think Kevin Smith portrayed it.
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah,
I'm the hugest Kevin Smith fan. And Red State to me is like the great.
I've not seen that.
It's so good. It's a horror. It's a horror film.
I've seen it on Netflix, but I haven't seen it. So I'll check it out.
You need to watch it, man. Because like it's not my favorite Kevin Smith movie. Chasing Amy is.
Yeah.
But I've never heard anybody say Chasing Amy is their favorite.
I know.
I'll go on record and say that.
Yeah, I'm the only person. I love Chasing Amy. I mean,
little tidbit real quick. Speaking of Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob is where I found my entrance music for.
Nice. What is your entrance music?
Tougher Than Leather by Run DMC.
Awesome.
When the chicks jump out of the van.
Yep.
I'm like, that is the greatest song ever, and
That's
I'm using
our
that.
movie too.
Nice.
That's our movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like, I love that movie, but it's my least favorite of his because it seems so disorganized to me.
It is. I can see it.
But I can't wait. Do you all follow Kevin's stuff any?
Yeah.
Do you listen to Smodcast and stuff?
I don't listen to all of them. I usually listen to Fat Man on Batman. That's my
Fat Man on Batman's really good. Jay and Silent Bob Get Old is really good.
Yeah, it's funny. I've listened to a few of those.
And right now they're doing the Super Groovy Cartoon Movie
It was
tour.
in Covington last night.
It's going to be at it was in Covington last night, and it's going to be in Louisville at Fear Fest.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and it's only like $30 to get into.
Well, hey, all right, cool. I'm gonna have to go to that then.
Yeah. What's cool about Fear Fest is Stan Lee's going to be there this year. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going.
I saw that, man. It's like $275 to meet him or something.
See, that right there was.
I want him to get him to sign my Hulk 181, but it's like it's not going to increase the value, and it's going to cost me.
Usually, it decreases the value too.
Because Stan signs everything. I know.
Yeah.
But he's about to croak.
I know. It's like the thing is he's 90 years old, close to 90.
I think he's 92.
Yeah, okay, I'm older than 90. And I don't care. I'm not selling that Hulk 181. It's going in the living room forever.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, I don't sell anything. Like I've got comics that I hate and I'll give them away before I'll sell them.
Yeah.
Cause to me, it's just like ridiculous.
Well, we got way off topic talking about rapists and comics. So just like that.
It was Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. 7 degrees. Stan Lee.
See, I can talk about Stan Lee like like it's religion, man. Cause Stan to me is his shit. Like he changed the industry forever.
Have you ever heard him narrate the Fantastic Four archives?
No, I haven't.
I will send you a link, brother. It's great.
Is it?
He just reads the the first volume of Fantastic Four, and it's just him reading it.
That would be so awesome.
It's so good.
Have you saw the interview that he did with Kevin Smith? Like it's a whole doc. It's not a doc, but it's kind of like a doc. It's called Marvel Then and Now. It's hard to find because it's not on. It used to be on Netflix and they took it off. But
I remember seeing it, but I never watched it.
I watched clips of it.
Right.
I mean, Kevin can get anybody to talk about
anything.
Yeah. Have you saw the like he had him on Fat Man on Batman, and that was really cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was because Stan. Spoilers. Stan does the final scene in Jay and Silent Bob Super Groovy Cartoon Movie. Like there's a Marvel scene.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
thanks, Dick. I could have took my headphones off.
No, I've never seen it. Kevin tells you that.
Well, apparently I don't need to now. So right.
No, it's funny. Like Kevin's like, it's funny how he sets it up because he's like, he does the format of the show. He's like, there's going to be these commercials. There's going to be a break. We're going to show the movie. He's like, if you have to piss, not saying there is. I'm not saying there's not. He's like, fuck if there is. There's a Marvel scene at the end. And I'm like, come on, man. So I ruin it for everybody. But, I don't know how I'm going to I have no segue to this. The Taco Bell worker.
Yeah. Taco Bell.
Yeah, there's a,
Actually, funny story. Bryon Gray and I wrote a song about Taco Bell.
Did you?
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Do you have the audio for it?
No, God, no.
Damn it.
I don't think it was ever recorded. I think we just wrote it.
We wrote it, and I play guitar with it, but that's about it. I think
it's hilarious.
I was going to say that could have been the break music, but for those who haven't saw this, there's a Taco Bell worker, and he's fucking licking a mountain-sized stack of Taco Bell shells. This to me is so goddamn disgusting. Like, it makes me never want to eat there again.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just one Taco Bell. Where was it at?
It doesn't say, like...
I'm sure it was Corbin, because
I've heard many stories for other Taco Bells that would make you not want to eat there.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
And I blame the fast food industry for hiring these fucks who, like, barely have, like, maybe even have a GED or they're still in high school. They don't give a fuck about your food. They're like, hey, why do you just want to spit in this guy's food? Because fuck it. He didn't fuck with me. And I'd understand if they fucked with you or something, but like,
right.
But like, they, screw it. I'm a little fucking degenerate kid and I'm going to spit in their fucking food.
And the guy in the picture too, he looked rather young.
He's like,
I like tacos.
Oh yeah. A Taco Bell spokesman, went on record and saying, we have a strict food handling process and there's zero tolerance for any violations.
We do not lick tacos.
And then they said, no licking of the taco, which will be a great segue into the next subject. But, but it says, when we learned about the situation, we immediately contacted the restaurant's leadership. And although we believe it was a prank they don't even know. They're like, we believe it was a prank and the food wasn't going to be served to a customer. But we're launching a full-scale investigation. What are they going to do? Get the...
How do you launch a full-scale investigation? The FBI is coming down. You better have them tacos handy.
What's funny is they're talking about this, how like it was... The kid posted it as a joke on Facebook.
Right.
And it got back to, everybody.
Which goes to show you, don't do stupid crap at your job and post it online.
Have you seen the Walmart... it's here in Kentucky, the Walmart video of people... They're taking the new iPads, I believe it was, the iPad 2s and stuff, and just launching them as Frisbees. It was in the Walmart in Kentucky.
Is this on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yes.
I'll be sure to.
It was part of NBC or Dateline or something. They did a show about it. I remember.
I worked at Walmart, so I know how shit goes there, man.
Yeah, I know it was in Kentucky, and I believe it was the iPad. It was a big technical device.
Yeah.
And they were just throwing them like Frisbees, just launch.
Technical device.
Here's our special handling, and then they just launch it.
The big like the Rio Generic Recombinator right here.
The Yum Group is out of Kentucky who owns Taco Bell. They own Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut, yeah.
And they're talking about how this isn't the first time this company's had to deal with this. Recently, they fucking fired a KFC worker for getting dangerously close to licking the mashed potatoes and taking pictures.
I saw that one too, yeah.
So, I want to know, like, what's the hiring process for this place?
No joke. It's like,
exactly.
Can you almost touch food but make funny jokes about it? Because we'd like to see that, but we don't want to post it online. We don't want public to know about it.
What's funny is they're like, yet this is yet arguably human saliva ranks in the grossest of the food antecedents that can ever touch your food. But it says, especially after looking at Reddit last year, evidently they did a study on these fast food restaurants. They're like, this isn't nowhere near the most disgusting thing that you'll witness.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Just think about
where
that.
are you going to eat today? We're going to go eat somewhere, and it's probably going to be 10 times worse than that, I'm sure.
No, it's going to be great.
Well, it's probably great, but...
Yeah. And getting back to the tacos, have you heard about Michael Douglas?
That's the segue.
Michael Douglas is he got cancer from eating some tacos. Or at least that's what I'm saying. For those who don't know the story, Michael Douglas 2 years ago suffered from throat cancer right after he made the movie Wall Street. It sucks. Not Wall Street, the sequel. I was trying to think of the sequel's name, but it's so bad I can't remember it. And so, he had to go in and evidently he suffered from this for a while. A bunch of doctors missed it. He goes up to Canada. The Canadians save his ass. The Canucks.
Yeah,
that's right.
And
so true universal health care
for free. Let's not get started on that.
No. And they find a biopsy. It's a tumor that's like they said it was a tumor the size of a walnut at the end of his throat, at the end of his tongue back here.
Wow.
I guess he was using that thing a lot.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
But,
way to go, Michael Douglas. There.
Originally, it was believed that he got throat cancer from smoking and drinking, which he does a lot. But he would rather people know that he was eating a lot of pussy. Because he's saying
smoke and drink. But let me tell you, the other night on Catherine Zeta-Jones, I tell you what.
That's what I want to know. They're blaming it on HPV.
So does that mean Catherine Zeta-Jones has HPV?
Yeah.
That's exactly. I mean, are they still married?
You've heard it here first.
Yeah, it says breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Random shit with random guys.
Yeah, it says yeah, they're still together.
Wow.
So I mean,
so that kind of leads me to believe either Catherine's got something or she don't mind to play the field, I guess.
I don't know.
Hell,
I can't wait for the Cunnilingus PSA announcements and things like that.
that'll be fun.
Have you saw the HPV ads lately that's around here?
No.
No, I haven't seen it.
There's like a picture of like a baby, which is really weird anyways. And then it's like, men, get checked out for HPV. At your, cause the health department down here they're doing a big push for men to take the shots.
Yeah.
Because men are actually the carriers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Women just get it.
Yeah.
But they're talking about how like it's always, it was funny. Like I learned something new in this article. HPV usually goes to, of course, cervical cancer. Do you know you can get anal cancer from it?
Well, that's
Do now.
So evidently there's a lot of gay guys passing around the,
yeah.
and they're talking about all these different, types of cancers and shit. Cause I mean, herpes is fucking HPV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So evidently he's either sucking some dick cause he doesn't say, all he says is I got cancer from fucking oral sex. And that's giving, not getting.
Yeah.
For those out there. But he's like, why fucking tell these people that? Let them believe.
Yeah.
No one, I mean, it's his fucking, this dude has kids.
Yeah.
Hey, daddy has HPV. It says, Douglas has 2 kids, 10 and 12 years old with his second wife, Zeta-Jones. And an older one with his first wife, something Cameron. And evidently he's blaming his ex-wife for giving him fucking.
So that means he's had it for how long? And he's just not. I don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I want to see the study. Bring Catherine Zeta-Jones down here now.
Bring her to us.
What I want to know is it like, I don't know how to say this.
There's so many questions.
Yeah,
So many questions.
who tells these people? That's what I want to know.
Who tells their publicists, all right, listen, let's go out and let's do the oral sex thing. I think that'll work. And they're like, yeah, man, that's great.
Granted, I mean, it's cool if, I mean,
this movie coming out anytime soon or?
Probably not.
Yeah.
This dude's probably never going to act again. Granted, I hear he's a fucking asshole anyways to work with.
I never heard that.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Then again, I did watch Falling Down, so.
What's Falling Down?
Oh, yeah.
You've never seen Falling Down with Michael Douglas?
Yeah.
Movie titles. Tell me.
Oh, God, he's crazy. Like, he
used to work for the government.
Okay.
And, he's sitting in traffic one day, and then he just sees this construction going on. And he's stuck in traffic, and the cars are not moving.
Okay.
And he sees.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Now, this sounds familiar.
He sees.
I'm sure I've seen it.
Car tags and things.
Like,
just sets him off, and then he just gets out of his car,
goes crazy.
He goes down. He's just walking down the road. He goes into a convenience store to get a pop, and the clerk's like, "That'll be $1." He goes, "What? Did it cost you more to make this pop? Blah, blah, blah."
Okay, I've seen this movie.
He goes ape shit.
Crazy.
See, I've got the mind of a stoner even though I don't fucking smoke pot. Like, I don't remember anything. Like, I'm probably going to be like, they're going to be doing like Alzheimer's studies on me by the time I'm like 40.
Oh, God.
Cause like, I don't remember anything. I have to write down everything. Like, I carry notebooks and shit, and if we're going too long, just let me know.
Oh, no.
So,
no, you're fine.
But speaking of other crazy fucks, Amanda Bynes, she's my favorite fucking, I've told everybody on this podcast, this is my addiction, man. I wake up, I read the Twitter. I fucking, they need to just have her own app like Amanda Bynes. And I would read it. I would subscribe to this shit. Because she's so goddamn crazy. It's like, I can have a shitty day and go and see how bad her life is, and it makes me better.
It makes it better.
Like, she's like, we've got, I always forget her name. The chick from Herbie.
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan.
Herbie.
That's the first thing. Like, she does a lot. She's done all these movies, and to me, she's the chick from Herbie.
That's the first thing.
What's sadder? He thought of Herbie, or we answered instantly, Lindsay Lohan. Herbie.
No, this is like I'm going to start, this is like going to be like a running bit, I guess, because this is like the third time this has happened. Because I'm like, what the fuck is her name? Because I never forget. But like she's in rehab, so I have nothing, you know.
Yeah. Good for her.
It's forced.
Hey, good for her. She needs it.
Crazy bitch.
She broke out of Betty Ford. Like, how do you break out of Betty Ford? That's the biggest fucking clinic in the country.
I don't know.
But I enjoyed the train wreck. I'm awful. But, Miss Lohan, not Miss Lohan.
Hey-o.
Well, Lindsay, this is kind of a good segue. Lindsay did Playboy.
Yeah. She did.
Evidently Miss Bynes isn't going to do Playboy.
Isn't going?
Now, granted, Amanda wasn't offered a job to fucking model because she looks like crap right now. Nobody wants no one wants her, man. Her hair's all fucked up.
All right, first off, wait, did you see her in Maxim Hot 100 a few years ago?
Yeah, oh yeah, she used to be banging.
Yeah.
Have you saw her recently?
Yeah, I know. That just bothers me.
That bitch has lost she says she's fat. She ain't got she's a bone. A dog's gonna eat her. Literally. She's gonna be found on the dead. She's gonna be found overdosed on the side of the road and a dog's gonna be eating her.
I blame Hollywood.
Hollywood's it,
for
man.
Back in the 50s, the voluptuous women, I'd make love to them all the time. If you're voluptuous out there, I'll make love to you anytime, any day. But now Hollywood's destroyed them. You have to be a stick. And
that's right.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
And Marilyn Monroe was a size.
Yeah,
Marilyn Monroe is the hottest celebrity ever.
Yeah.
Even if she was fucking crazy.
Yeah, she fucked everybody. Oh, she fucked baseball players.
I didn't say that. I was saying the hottest one ever.
In my book, she is.
That's a big title.
She sets the bar.
She's no Amanda Bynes.
She's no man.
Yeah, she's a crazy bitch.
I mean, I don't know.
Her time, I guess she was.
Like, she was fucking presidents. She was fucking baseball players, actors, screenwriters, marrying them. Like, I'm not saying that the Kennedys didn't kill her, but I'm not saying that they didn't.
They didn't.
So, yeah, I watched a documentary on that too. And I was like,
oh, is that JFK thing?
No. It was a documentary on Marilyn Monroe. And like, people's like, cause like, evidently, Robert Kennedy hated her, like wanted her away from his brother. And
Bobby wanted her dead.
And then all of a sudden she's dead. So, not saying it did, not saying it didn't, who knows?
We'll never know.
That is true. But, evidently, Playboy Radio offered her a spot to guest host a show. It's called the Twitter Monday.
Well, dude, that's the best of both worlds. People can just hear her.
Yeah.
And then I can remember her like, hey, she sounded hot. And then listen.
I can remember her from all that.
But she'll
man, that makes me kind of sick.
And then,
I can too.
If you want to get even worse, the Amanda Show.
We were kids during that time, so.
Yeah, but bring in the dancing lobsters, man.
Yeah.
Remember that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that.
Of course.
But evidently this R-rated program, offered Miss Lohan. Shit.
Wow.
Miss Bynes a job.
Lohan, you can get the fuck out, you crazy bitch.
It's an hour-long show that goes on once a week.
So did she accept?
Hell no.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be easy money.
She was signing her words on her crack or whatever.
No. They wanted her.
Yeah.
And, this is how they reached out to her. They sent her a tweet.
Hey-o.
And it says, seriously, Amanda, we want you to co-host our afternoon show once a week. DM us. And, like, you're that big of a company you can't get up with their publicist?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's Twitter's free though, right? You don't have to make a
you don't have
call.
to pay. You do backdoor, literally. But it said, she tweeted, I want to do this. She's working on an album.
I'm buying it.
I mean,
I don't care what
it says. The 27-year-old rejected Playboy's proposal to put out an album, and I quote, I want to do the show, but I can't because I'm recording an album. Says she told TMZ this.
That's right. It's
going
to be dropping in a few years.
She's like, I'll go on the show for an interview when I'm done, when I want to promote the album. Like, she's like, I don't want your job. I just want you to use you.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the whole ploy. Maybe she's acting crazy to show us her amazing singing voice that we've never heard.
She needs some stories to sing about.
I guess.
She's finding them, so.
But, the Amanda Bynes topic, it's going to be an ongoing thing. So if you hate Amanda Bynes, if you love Amanda Bynes, this is the place for you. But we're going to take a quick break. and we'll get right back.
Hello, boys and girls. It's your dear old Uncle Joker. We've got an internet access here in Arkham, so I'm doing a little browsing. Lolcats, porn, lolcats. What's this? Bailey's Batman Podcast? A bi-weekly podcast devoted to everything Dark Knight Detective? Well, Michael Bailey, where's Bailey's Joker podcast, eh? We'll see about that. Harley, get our things. We're going to Georgia.
Hey everyone, Michael Bailey here, asking you to check out my bi-weekly internet radio show, Bailey's Batman Podcast. Or at least I'm asking you to check it out while you still can, until the Joker shows up on my doorstep. Bailey's Batman Podcast is a hodgepodge type show where I discuss all aspects of the Dark Knight's history. Comics, movies, animation, even trading cards and action figures. Everything Batman related is fair game, and yes, that does include the villains, which includes the Joker. So he won't kill me. New episodes drop every other Tuesday over at www.baileysbatmanpodcast.com. The site also has links to the iTunes page, the RSS feed, my Twitter handle if you're into the social media thing, and the Bailey's Batman Podcast Facebook page. Bailey's Batman Podcast is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Connection, which you can find at batmanpodcastconnection.wordpress.com. I really hope that's the UPS guy. Why can't I have Batman in my basement?
Okay, guys, it's me sitting in a room by myself. This podcast ran a little long, so I just went on ahead and it's gonna be a part 1 and part 2. So hope you've enjoyed listening to me, Ryan, and Bryon so far. Come back later this week and I'll give you the second part. And as always, go fuck yourselves.